Alright, let's dive into this. So, Mastodon's new lineup and album Marrow Deep, what's the real story here? Personally, I think this is one of the most fascinating moments in their career. Think about it. They've been a 4-piece for 25 years, and now they're expanding to a 5-piece. That's not just a lineup change, it's a seismic shift in their identity. Troy Sanders calling it a healthy growth. Yeah, but what does that really mean for their sound? Let's unpack this. First off, the album's heavier direction. Troy mentions it's a knee-jerk reaction to their last album, the sprawling, lockdown-era hushed and grim. And honestly, that makes total sense. When you spend years touring a moody, dramatic double album, you'd probably crave something raw and punchy too. But here's the twist, they are not just repeating the past. When they went from Crack the Sky to The Hunter, that shift felt drastic, but this? It's like they're tapping into the primal energy of their earlier work while still evolving. Why does this matter? Because bands often get stuck in cycles, but Mastodon's transitions feel intentional, almost like they're choosing to reinvent themselves to stay relevant. Now, the new members. Nick Johnston's contributions aren't just cool, they're a lifeline. Imagine joining a band with such a defined legacy. What if his riffs pushed them into uncharted territory? And João Nogueira on keys. This isn't just adding texture, it's expanding their sonic palette. Let's be real, keyboards in metal can feel gimmicky, but if Nogueira's work is all over the record, that's a bold move. Are we hearing more atmospheric layers? A darker vibe? Or is it subtle, like how Tool uses keyboards to build tension? The article says everyone's actively collaborating, so this isn't just a band jamming. It's a democracy of ideas, which is rare. Most bands rely on 1 or 2 writers, but 5 people contributing. That's a creative explosion waiting to happen. Oh, and the production setup. West End sound in Atlanta with Berger and Ballou. That's a wild combo. Patrick Berger's worked with Lana Del Rey and Charlie XCX. Super pop, super experimental. Kurt Ballou's got that raw metal edge. Mixing those influences. That's why Marrow Deep might sound both polished and brutal. And then Andrew Skeps, who's mixed Adele and Metallica, handled the final mix. So, if this album feels like a tightrope walk between accessibility and heaviness, that's why. But here's the elephant in the room, Brent Hines passing. The article mentions it briefly, but how does replacing a founding guitarist, who died in a motorcycle accident, affect the band's soul? Troy doesn't address it directly, but I'm guessing Johnston's arrival isn't just about new riffs. It's about healing, rebuilding, and maybe even proving they can survive without losing their edge. So, what's next? The tour with Deaf Heaven and Alcest, 2 bands that push boundaries in their own right. This isn't just a tour, it's a statement. Mastodon's still here, still evolving, and they're bringing the heaviest versions of themselves. Is Marrow Deep gonna be their best work? I can't say yet. But what's clear is that this band refuses to stagnate. And in a genre where so many bands fade into nostalgia acts, that's the most exciting thing of all. What do you think? Are they still innovators? Or is this just a temporary adrenaline rush? Let me know in the comments.